Good afternoon, everyone. So yes, I'm sorry, I'm the last one, hopefully for you, but I have 7 projects to present. In 10 minutes, which is a challenge, but also in order to make it easier, we have grouped them per topic, so it will be short. So here you have just the logos and the grant numbers, what is important in terms of for the Commission. Here the timeline with the logos again and the topics, and the time these projects are running. And so let's go for the first 2 projects, which are focusing on efficiency and resilience. We have talked a lot this morning about efficiency, and that's what GenTORE and Smarter talks about. So GenTORE is focusing on cattle and Smarter in goats and sheep, and with a multi-actor approach, of course. The projects are in a strong collaboration with the stakeholders, but no time now to go in details of this. You have at the last slide will show you the coordinators and the website. You can interact in Twitter, blah blah. So you can ask for more questions later on another day. So resilience and efficiency are heritable traits. Both projects are developing new proxies and methods, decision support tools for farmers, scientists, and breeders. And of course, because they are heritable traits, this increases the possibilities of genetic selection. An example of results can be seen in the next slide, which you can see the differences, you can see 4 different cows. During lactation, I'm not going to go in details again on this, but you can see that there are a lot of differences between individuals, so it gives room to make this genetic selection. So going back to the previous one, next to that, genetic diversity is explored to enhance the use of underutilized breeds and to enhance the use of crossbreeding. The developed decision support tools that we were mentioning before can be used for managing trade-offs and optimizing resilience and efficiency under a variety of challenging conditions. So again, GenTORE and Smarter should optimize resilience and efficiency to better match to available feed. That's the topic of today. The possibility to breed animals that meet the societal expectation to live a healthy, a happy life. Of course, I mean, that's part of the deal. Complicated, as we were saying this morning, but... the purpose, of course, is to reduce methane emissions and the total carbon footprint of livestock production. The selection of the best adapted animals will contribute to the reduction of feed versus food competition. The next 2 projects are GeneSwitch and Bov-Reg. They are aiming on improving the functional annotation of epigenomes. So, I don't know if you know what it is about. So the functional annotation is attaching the biological information to the genes. And that this should help to understand better the genome of farm animals. So the genome is the information, the genetic information they have. The GeneSwitch project is working in, I thought I have image of animals, but the GeneSwitch project is working in swine and chickens, and Bov-Reg is working in cattle, but they are part of the EFFAB consortium. An official consortium, but a consortium with EFFAB, which is also working in functional annotation in aquaculture. So the projects will provide high-quality annotation maps for the livestock and aquaculture communities. So just knowing which genes are expressed, yes, for what? And so that will be providing a knowledge database, a huge knowledge database. That's why we have this consortium, European EFFAB consortium. And it will be available for commercial exploitation and stakeholder information, so it will be help breeders for further breeding programs. The next slide is about, to make it short, because time is running and we are late. The next slide is about RUMIGEN and GEroNIMO. They have started this year, so only a few months ago. And these projects will make use of recent developments in omics technologies. These omic technologies is, again, I try to translate, it's all the biological science that ends by omics, so like genomics, proteomics, and so on. They will rethink breeding and take advantage of improved knowledge of genome to phenome relationships that account for both genetics and non-genetics mechanism controlling traits. Again, RUMIGEN will do it in cattle, and GEroNIMO in monogastrics, in swine and chickens. So it's not only genomics, and that's what I'm going to try to explain now. It's not genomics alone that counts for heritable variation in production traits. You probably have seen when we're talking about the previous projects, that the epigenetic regulation is also it has also to be taken into account in animal selection and could improve phenotypes and evaluation of animals to parent the next new generation, what is the purpose of animal breeding, of course. The aim is to improve quantitative genetics tools by addition of new traits, adaptation to new and changing environments, what is important in the context of climate change, and inclusion of epigenetics data and potential use of new breeding techniques such as genome editing, the big trendy topic. So an important part of these projects is the evaluation of the societally acceptability of new breeding techniques. It's a very important part. And is innovative because we are exploring the room of acceptance, and the continuous dialogue with the stakeholders will be facilitated under these projects. So again, these projects will provide knowledge and tools to improve animal breeding and selections for health and welfare and efficiency, and decrease pressure on the environment. The last project is HoloRuminant, in which the goal is to elucidate the role of ruminant-associated microbiomes and the interplay with the host animal in early life and throughout fundamental life events such as weaning, calving, and the start of lactation. I didn't mention, but with HoloRuminant you have seen that it's about ruminants, sorry. All such events, so this, the weaning, calving, and the start of lactations, involve physiological and dietary change. So the project will characterize the establishment and dynamics of these big microbiomes and determine the connectivity between microbiomes from different body states, the irritability of them, and the influence of the host's key performance indices. These ones that are known to affect health, welfare, and environmental efficiency in ruminant production system. So I don't have time to explain more about these projects, I know, so I'm going to skip a part. Don't worry, I'm going to the next. And about the research and innovation needs, which is part of the discussion today. So together with this group of Horizon 2020 projects working on different species, we are contributing to the European Green Deal objectives and the farm-to-fork strategy and biodiversity to mitigate the effects of feed versus food competition, again, which is the topic of today. To accelerate the research within these projects, some research and innovation needs are raised, of course. So collaboration between the plant and animal research should be increased to foster research in the direction of reducing feed-food competition and integrate crop livestock farming systems. Furthermore, there is an interest, already said also this morning, in the use of byproducts and alternative feed products, such as algae, for example, that was not mentioned, or less. So this could reduce the amount of land used for feed production. And yet this alternative feed products research is needed on how animals with different genetic background can cope with alternatives and how efficient they can produce. I will just add, to finish, that of course these are the big European projects running, and we are in Brussels and that we are talking about them, but other smaller projects are ongoing in Europe, the regional and national level. And it's also important that they are associated when we think about priorities for the future, for the next working programs, for the next programs, programs, and programs next after Horizon Europe. So both the national and the European level are important and need to be coordinated. So, and of course, the need to continue to invest in animal genetics, but that's part of the discussions we are going to have. So again, here you are going to receive the presentations. They are going to be available, in the website. Yes, and I don't forget to mention that you can interact in the chat. Don't forget it, please. And yes, here are the logos and the contact details. And thank you very much. I hope that Isabella is going to forgive me because I put another cow in my presentation. Thank you very much.